LoreWarrior Armour Double Feature. The Partisan Air Defense Tank. Overview. Kalon Industries' revamped Partisan provides the Inner Sphere with its first anti-aerospace weapons platform effective against the Clan Omni fighter. Using the old battle-tested Partisan design as a start point, Kalon upgraded the design's weapons array and added a highly effective C3 system to augment the targeting systems. The redesigned Partisan has proven a formidable opponent for Clan aerospace assets. Capabilities. Pairs of turret-mounted Imperator Code Red LB-10X autocannons and Imperator Smoothie light autocannons provide the main firepower of the redesigned Partisan. The Code Red guns deliver a lethal barrage of flak that can destroy an attacking fighter's control surfaces and cause it to crash. The turret-mounted Smoothie guns provide firepower at extreme range. The design's C3 system enables a group of Partisans to produce interlocking fields of fire to simultaneously engage enemy aircraft. Additionally, the system enables each Partisan in a group to engage a target at the optimum range for the entire group, and this means that an enemy fighter will fly into a firestorm that will keep him too busy with evasive maneuvers to aim straight. The new Partisan also features a compact fusion engine and Kalon Unity Weave ferrofibrous armor. Deployment. Though few Partisan tanks have reached the front line, observers believe that at least 3 houses have placed orders for the tank. The Kalon factory is located on the planet Nanking in the Sana March, and recent events in that sector may be delaying delivery of Partisans. In fact, some observers claim that hostilities have broken out on Nanking itself. Variants. At least 2 variants of the Partisan are known to exist. The Lance Command variant that features a C3 master system that enables it to coordinate the fire of up to 4 Partisans. The Company Command variant features 2 C3 master systems, enabling it to coordinate the fire of up to 12 Partisans. Both of these master systems are larger and heavier than the standard one, and to compensate for this increased weight, the Lance Command variant replaces the standard configuration's Code Red LB-10s with a pair of Imperator Rapid-Fire Medium Ultra autocannons. The Company Command vehicle sacrifices both Smoothie light autocannons to make room for its 2 C3 master systems and additional LBX ammunition. According to unconfirmed reports, Kalon are working on a Partisan prototype fitted with an XL engine, twin LB-10 autocannons and twin Ultra autocannons. Reportedly, the production costs of these prototypes stand at about 12 million C-bills each, which will undoubtedly limit the number of this new machine sent into the field. 3058 Upgrade Overview. During the Clan invasion, the AFFC quickly found itself consistently losing its skies to the vastly superior Clan Omni fighter during any campaign, and their own fighters couldn't compare, and once the aerial units were routed, battles typically deteriorated into a free-for-all, with Clan fighters wiping out entire battlemech lances before they returned to base. Commissioned to build a new anti-air defense system, Kalon decided to concentrate on their already popular and inexpensive Partisan design. One problem, however, was obtaining their key component, the Draconis-invented C3 network system. Promising a discount price on their production models and other upgraded vehicles, Kalon Industries was able to negotiate the plans and technical details on producing C3 network computers in-house, rather than importing them from Luthien Armour Works on a bi-yearly basis. Capabilities. Due to the capabilities inherent in the original design, Partisans were a natural candidate to use the first integral C3 computers in House Davian's arsenal. Linking with an entire company using the best targeting data that the company possesses, attacking aerospace fighters often find themselves under a withering salvo of autocannon shells when they encounter a unit of linked Partisans. The firepower of the air defense tank is an assortment of long-range autocannons, a pair of Imperator Code Red LB-10s being selected as the main weapons, backed up by a smaller pair of their Smoothie lights. Many in recent years have suggested that the Smoothie lights be stripped out to make way for more recently developed light LBs and Ultras, but Kalon officials point out that using the older Smoothies allows a Partisan to take advantage of new precision-guided and armor-piercing rounds. Deployment. Since their widespread deployment shortly after Operation Guerrero, Partisans have proven their usefulness in both land and air confrontation. On New Avalon, garrison forces, including several Lancers of Partisans, were able to mobilize before Blakey's forces completed a combat drop outside New Avalon. These defense units, largely due to the C3 network ability of the Partisans working in concert with highly skilled and fanatical battlemech forces, were able to drive off several strikes by Blakist aero assets and destroy several units of Blakist battlemechs as they combat dropped from low orbit. It took a series of strikes from the Blakist warships in low orbit to scatter the dug-in defenders enough to allow several landing zones to be established. Of course, they'd have to do that. Even as fighting continues to rage in the system, partisan companies remain on the capital planet of House Davion, providing the few strongholds left with a mobile and effective network of anti-air defense. Latest Holovid reports smuggled out show a group of partisans crippling a low-flying assault Triumph that was making a supporting strafe for a Blakist push towards the Fox's Den. When the Blakists attempted to engage the partisans with ground units, they quickly found themselves caught in a repeated crossfire from the networked group. Variants. Calon Industries produces a wide array of partisan variants, all modified to perform in any position in a C3 network. Most of these involve reducing the size or type of autocannon to something smaller, and the added ability to share targeting information, which more than compensates for the loss in firepower. One slave variant also mounts an extra light engine, upgrading the two lighter autocannons to the much more potent Ultra AC-5. Though as expensive as heavy battlemechs, the AFFS have purchased these vehicles in large quantities, banking on the increased firepower being worth the cost. Taking advantage of the newly developed rotary autocannon, the latest model produced mounts a pair of the high-speed guns along with a pair of smaller LB-2X autocannons. As with all partisan models, this version also uses a C3 system. Another version being tested with rotary autocannons is a quad assembly of RAC-2s, slaved to a targeting computer and C3 network to optimize the accuracy. An extra light engine provides the free weight to mount such a heavy configuration, and this variant is so costly it's been assigned to only the most prestigious units. Many militias during the Fedcom Civil War, who were unable to pay the much higher price tag for the upgraded partisans, modified their originals by removing the machine guns and adding a case system to protect the crew from an ammo explosion, while also installing a C3 system to create an inexpensive landsmate. To compensate for the obsolete weaponry, militias invest in various special munitions, making the guns more accurate and powerful on the cheap. But what does all this translate to? Well, it is a 80-ton tank that's tracked. Power plant is the GM Super 240 Fusion with a cruise speed of 32 and a flank speed of 54. Its armour is the Calon Unity Weave Ferrofibrous, and its armament is 2 Imperator Code Red LB-10 autocannons and 2 Imperator Smoothie Light autocannons. Manufacturer is Calon Industries, primary factory on Nanking. Its communication system is the Calon SecureNet, and its targeting and tracking is the Calon Sure Shot C3. Stat-wise, this means it has a cruise of 3 and a flank of 5, with only the 10 heat sinks required to keep everything nice and cool. It has 35 armour on the front, 26 on the sides, 21 on the rear, and 35 on the turret, making sure it can take a fair old beating even while it's dishing out all that damage. Its 2 LB-10s are located in the turret with 30 shots, so 15 spread between each with the ammo in the body. The light, by the way, the Smoothie Lights are AC-2s, just so you know. They are also located in the turret, and they have 45 shots split between the 2 cannons, and a C3 system, which is located in the body of the vehicle. Really nice. The Partisan is fun because this is a variant, which makes sense that you would take a tried and true chassis and modify it, as happened in real life with many modern MBTs, and obviously starting way back in the Second World War, obviously where you get things like the Ostwind and some of the Russian AAs, American AAs, British AAs, that kind of thing. So yeah, you would see it all over, really. Very few dedicated AA platforms were rolling out, if there wasn't already one that was being built on a tried and true chassis. So yeah, this makes perfect sense that the Partisan is a perfectly designed machine for that kind of work. I hate the fact, again, that the 3058 upgrade write-up once again has to go, it was built for fighting the clans, and what did they do with the deployment bit? Oh, it has to be entirely about WoB. Now, I rant about the WoB every time they're brought up, but I'll give a bit of clarity and clarification here. If you enjoy the Word of Blake era, say that's how you got into Battletech, and whatever else, and you enjoy it, that's fine. I don't have a problem. I just want to put this out there. I don't have a problem. If you enjoy Word of Blake, you enjoy Word of Blake. You like it, just like, some people can like one thing and don't like the same thing. If we all like the same thing, life is boring. I rant about it because I'm a curmudgeon-y old fuckwit, right? And hey, what I say on here isn't exactly gospel, and you'll find a million other people have completely different opinions to me, as you would expect. So, if you enjoy the Word of Blake, that's fine. Take my rants about them as a maybe slightly mean-spirited about the writing. Not so much if you enjoy them. If you enjoy them because they're the villains you like to fight, or they're the guys you want to run as, or whatever, that's fine. You know, you have fun with it. It's not for me, basically. And by the looks of it, judging by a lot of the comments, it's also not a thing that's for a lot of other people. Unfortunately, FASA just really didn't do much with the Word of Blake before financial issues kicked in for them and they started to fall down a hill, and that's it. They never really... I doubt they actually got to write the proper story for the Word of Blake that they intended before the new owners came in, and then the new owners just kind of... Yeah, they didn't know what they were doing and they ruined the whole thing, and Word of Blake could have been a great villain, and it just turned out to be a really, really, really cartoon villain, and it's just war crimes and very little else. It's very boring. They're just the most generic evil bad guys that you could possibly come up with. You know, they make Psychor in Babylon 5 look like a fucking well thought out and comparatively nice group of people by comparison. As like the fucking Word of Blake are they're just evil just because, and it makes them boring villains. For all the issues I have with the clans, at least there's something more written about them, that they're still an antagonist, but they're not. You can kind of see from their point of view, that kind of thing. Seeing it from the Blakist side of things is just literal insanity. That's all it is. But the tank itself, it's a great little vehicle because, yeah, I mean, twin LBs that can obviously fire solid and cluster munitions if you wanted to obviously break it down. So it had like a mix of those different ammo types. Means it could be quite deadly against battlemechs as well. And the like, AC2s means it can keep targets at range while it repositions. And the C3 system, whoa, the C3 system, brutal. Definitely not something that you want to be caught out with. But yeah, I do like it. It's chunky. It's got some mean weaponry on it. I'd say the ammo is probably the only thing that probably keeps it out of some people's selections, because yeah, it could probably run out of some of that ammo quite quickly in extended fights, especially for some people who do really big multiple hex board type campaign battles. Yeah, I could see vehicles like this starting to run low on ammo after, you know, the first hour or two of rounds taken. So yeah, that is a factor to consider. But other than that, yeah, I quite like it. So it's a cool vehicle. Definitely a scary one to put up against players. So I'll leave everyone with that one. Thanks for listening as always, and hope you have a good week. And I'll catch you with more of these as always. Until then, have a good one. Bye bye.